Shore, and I am joined with Lieutenant Sarah Fields to talk about the Adult Sex Crime Division. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
Can you tell me exactly what is the Adult Crimes Unit, Section, Division?
So in the Adult Sex Crimes Unit of the Phoenix Police Department, we investigate all sex crimes where the victims are adults. So this includes sexual assault, sexual abuse, voyeurism, surreptitious video, indecent exposures, public sexual indecency, anything where it falls in a sex crimes category.
So, sir, what I really hear is you investigate these areas, but you are also an advocate for that victim.
Absolutely. So where we're at today is actually our Family Advocacy Center, and it's where our detectives are housed. It's a really important building, and it's important to us that we're away from police headquarters. We have very specialized detectives, and everyone in this building is very victim-centered, while also focusing on our investigations.
What would be considered a sex crime?
So sex crime is anything essentially where there's unwanted touching of any private parts. That's essentially the easier way to talk about it.
Okay.
And the things with sex crimes is that sometimes it's very difficult for people to talk about it, and even more difficult for them to report it to the police. But we're here today to talk about, try to make it more of a conversation and steps that we take to make it more comfortable for victims to talk to the police and report these crimes.
So if I feel like I'm victimized or something has been going on and I've had something's been happening to me and where do I go to report? Because if something's happened to me and I feel like it's a norm, but yet I don't feel like it's a norm, and then I'm scared, what do I do?
So what we recommend is that you call the police first and foremost. And what that looks like is that a patrol officer will respond to your house or your place of business or your friend's house, wherever you're comfortable reporting it. And that officer will ask some basic questions and get the story, find out when it happened, where it happened, who the perpetrator was, and then that starts a whole timeline of events. If it's within 5 days of the sex assault, if it is a sex assault, then they might ask you to come down to our facility to obtain a forensic nurse exam. So these are done by specialized forensic nurse examiners that will do an exam to obtain critical evidence that will help us in our case. With adult sex crimes, a lot of the things that we have to meet for our statute deal with consent. So like we said, any unwanted touching of private areas without your consent is generally a crime. So the detectives will work we'll do an interview, but we really just bring you to our center. And it's a center for victims of domestic and sexual violence.
Okay.
So we do everything that we can to make it a comfortable environment when talking about something that's typically very uncomfortable to talk about. Our detectives receive a lot of training. They're very specialized in these areas and very sensitive to these victims.
So one of the things is, I believe I'm a woman, that if somebody's looking for me and my type of woman or the way I am, I feel like I'm a very strong woman. So I wouldn't be one that would be targeted to be, victimized. And it's a sensitive subject because I'm not really sure how to ask the question, in the sense of there are people or there are perpetrators out there that intentionally look for victims that will be silent.
A lot of our victims come from all walks of life, to be perfectly honest, any kind of social or economic background. But we do see a lot of predators that purposely prey on people, and we say women, men can be victims too.
Right, correct.
But we do see a lot of victims that come from backgrounds where they generally might not report to the police. These could be people that might be undocumented, these LGBTQ, transgender. We see a lot of people that just maybe quite aren't on their feet and supported and feeling as strong as they could be. But we want everyone to know to be comfortable to report it, regardless of what your status is or what your background is. because we do see it from all walks of life. Like I said, we get a lot of domestic violence victims who are also afraid because they live with the offender, or domestic violence victims are generally very afraid to report, as well as people in a lot of different categories, homeless. So we just want to encourage everyone, no matter what, it is not okay to be a victim of a sex crime and not report it to somebody, because we want to connect you with services. We want to get justice for you.
Could you tell me what you would consider to be a sex crime?
So a sex crime would be any kind of unwanted touching without your consent is generally that, but we also deal with surreptitious video and voyeurism. So if someone's watching you for sexual pleasure or videotaping you without your consent, that also is a high felony sex crime.
Okay. If I'm at the store changing and trying on different clothing and there's a hidden camera in there, or someone's there, or I'm walking through a store and someone's behind me and is filming me, could I consider that a sex crime? Or
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right, and that comes into our division. So we do investigate those cases. A lot of times these are offenders that have multiple offenses, where they might go to a store and take a video of you while you're picking up something off the ground, and things like that.
Okay. If I'm living with somebody, it's not necessarily, and it's an extended family, it's many different family members or many different people, or I am undocumented and I am living, somehow I'm here and I'm working for a family that I feel like I am being victimized. Will that person's information be released in any other way? I'd be afraid to come to the police to say I'm being victimized, because I'm afraid then it'll come back on me.
Here in our Family Advocacy Center, we have advocates on site, and we work very closely with them. They're actually just across the hall from us. So regardless of whether you report your crime to the police, even, we can still get you services within our building. The advocates will help with orders of protection. They can do video orders of protection, so you don't have to go to court. They can accompany you to court if you're afraid of that, and even just the court process. But they can also connect you to a lot of services. They're very trained and very used to domestic violence situations and victims that are afraid.
Lieutenant Fields, final question. What about somebody's status? And I think about the Super Bowl and the sex worker. What exactly do I do? Do I just call? And I asked that question earlier, but will that affect me?
What it boils down to is that we are going to investigate all sex crimes that are reported, regardless of somebody's status, whether it's social, economic, just their situation in general. If a sex crime is reported to us, we will treat you exactly the same as anybody else, with the sensitivity that we have because of the nature of the crimes that we investigate. So what we're trying to say is that we don't want anyone to be afraid to report it to the police. We want to connect you with resources. We want to investigate the crime that occurred. So regardless of your documentation status, your choice of lifestyle, we are here to help. Please trust us and please report it to the police, because sex crime should never go unreported.
Thank you, Sarah, for having this conversation with me. It's a serious conversation. Adult sex crimes that we do want people in our community to report, and to be able then to start the healing process. Thank you, Lieutenant Fields. I'm Councilwoman Laura Pastor in the heart of the city, Rockin' District 4.